Welcome back to 360 Sports. I'm your host, Sophia. I'm here with Ryan, Aidan, and Rocco. Today is our Frenzy episode, so we're going to be talking about all sports all across the board. Hockey, basketball, football, college sports, you name it, we're going to talk about it. So I want to start off. We had our Super Bowl show yesterday, so we're going to keep this short, but I want to know, give me your final score predictions for the big game, and who do you think is going to win Super Bowl MVP? Ryan, you want to start?
35-32 Niners, solely because in Brock Purdy's Media Day speech, he said he's not scared to disappoint Taylor Swift. 35-32 Niners.
I like it.
Okay.
What about you, Aidan? What do you think?
I'm going 33-28 Chiefs. I will never bet against Patrick Mahomes, and it's not going to start in the Super Bowl. So I definitely got the Chiefs.
Yeah, we're going 28-24 Kansas City. I'm taking that exact same explanation right there. You don't get bet against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You don't do it. The Super Bowl winning head coach in the first matchup prior to the rematch, 3-0 in the rematch. I'm taking Andy Reid against Kyle Shanahan and the Niners. That's my explanation.
I completely agree. I thought about going against him during the Ravens game. I was like, the Ravens have this. It's just the end of the Chiefs' reign. Nope, that was not true. So smart pickings. But now we have Caitlin Clark is 66 points away from being an all-time leading scorer in women's NCAA history. She also plays Penn State tomorrow, though, at 9 p.m. What do you guys think of her historic season so far?
Well, I think, honestly, right now, she is like the face of college basketball, and not just women's college basketball, all throughout college basketball. Like, recently, this Saturday, watching the Penn State game, men's basketball, they played an ad for the Caitlin Clark game coming up against, I think it was Maryland at the time. They had a whole Caitlin cam on Twitter, like, dedicated just to her, just following her around on Twitter, and the whole commercial was just her. Like, she is the face of college sports, and for good reason. I mean, she's hooping right now. You just mentioned 66 points away. She might break that against Penn State if they play the way that they did on Saturday. There's a chance. They got a shot.
100%. I mean, Caitlin Clark is the best women's athlete in women's basketball player, women's athlete probably in the world right now. You could go as far as saying that she's one of maybe like top 50 best shooters of all time.
Yeah.
Men's, women's, doesn't matter. With her, how she's playing right now, how she's changing the game of women's basketball, you could most definitely put her up there. Like, I maybe even put her top, like, 25 all time.
Yeah,
I think she deserves that standard.
Right. I think, just building off what you guys said, I think we're kind of at the point where it's like Caitlin Clark is, like, the most must-watch athlete in the world right now. Like, honestly, like, you got Mahomes in the playoffs. I mean, that's always something you never want to miss. But Caitlin, like, every time she's on TV, she's going insane. And I think she's, basketball-wise, I don't want to watch anybody else right now, period. Yeah. The Lady Lions are in trouble.
100%.
I agree. And she is intense. Like, I saw that clip of when she got hit by the fan after that game. Oh, she was serious after that press
but
she did.
She definitely flopped. But, like, she is, like you were saying, one of the most intense athletes right now. She's just super, super competitive, and that's what you want in athletes.
That also was not great for the pro court storming agenda that I have. Like, I'm big on court storming. That was not a good look for her.
She was angry. She was angry about that.
Oh, it was not good.
That was everywhere.
Yeah.
But so next we have some multi-sport athletes, and we're going to compare a couple of our picks of athletes to another athlete in a different sport that we think compare playing-wise, person-wise, however you want. So first we're going to go with Aidan, your pick. First we're going to go with Ryan's pick. Sorry.
Yep, definitely Aidan. So my player was Derek Jeter, and I'm comparing him to Troy Aikman. You got two teams that were very clutch in the playoffs. Like, you can't deny that.
You're about to hate. I can feel it.
Yes, very, very much. But, like, gained popularity being on a good team who won championships, but they always had their flaws. Derek Jeter, personally, I believe he's the most overrated shortstop of all time, especially defensively.
Agreed.
Troy Aikman, I don't want to hear it.
It's a good take.
Troy Aikman, also, like, great quarterback, won all these championships, turned the ball over a lot. I think both of these players, very good at what they did in the clutch, in the playoffs, yet still, in my opinion, very overrated. I think they're basically the same player in different
I see what you're saying. However, I think it's important to note, like, Troy Aikman was like the quarterback of a Super Bowl dynasty team in the 90s. Like, I feel like when everything's running through him,
Derek Jeter was the captain.
But he's one of 9 in that batting order versus the quarterback. The importance there is much more. Like, there's a big gap, I think.
It is, but they'll talk about Derek Jeter way crazier than they'll talk about Troy Aikman.
Right,
So,
which I'm kind of defending Troy Aikman here in this comparison. I think.
yeah, okay.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
that. I agree.
No, I agree with that. It's just like, voice crack. Like Derek Jeter, Troy Aikman, both part of dynasties, both wildly like top 5, top 10 at their position at the time, but just overrated just severely overraid.
All right, I respect it. I respect it.
I'm in.
That's a take. All right.
It's one of the
Aidan's
takes of all
pick
time.
next.
We got Justin Jefferson here, and
Okay.
I'm going to be comparing Justin Jefferson to Allen Iverson. I'm a Vikings fan, also a Sixers fan, so this comparison came easy to me, but you see Justin run the routes, a little bit of wiggle, the chains, the grills, all the jewelry on Justin, and he's changing the game both on the field and off the field, and I think that's a perfect example of what Allen Iverson did. He's got the exaggerated crossover, cornrows. I mean, how many kids wanted the cornrows back in the day? I mean, just what they do from the culture standpoint as far as being arguably, I think you could say Justin's the best in the league right now, period. AI was at some point. He won MVP, so, yeah.
And the other thing you got going for you, they're both on terrible teams in most of their
Yeah,
career.
you're
And don't
free.
have a ring. So there you go. I like that. I'm going to support that. I
And they
like your
probably will never
comparison
get
there.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Rocco's
Moving
comparison.
on here. All right, so this was a good one. This was kind of tough. I was thinking about it. I went with Giannis and Russ. Now, let me explain. We're not going with the height here. We're not going with, the size here, because obviously there's no comparison there. There's no similarity. What we're going with is that both of these guys, they kind of started off their career not at their peak, right? They took a little bit before they reached the top of that mountain. Russ brought a championship to Seattle, right? Giannis brought a championship as well to Milwaukee. Very important. Both of those franchises have gone, I think it was 50 years prior without a championship. Seattle, that was their first. So in terms of that, then play style-wise, it's kind of difficult comparing football and basketball, right? I went with it in the sense that they both are very good at one or two things, and then they both have a flaw in a very important facet of the game. Russ cannot throw over the middle of the field at all. He can't see over the middle of the field. That's pretty big. You're Seahawks fan.
Yeah,
You're aware.
yes,
right?
I'm
You support
aware.
that, right?
That deep ball.
You know what I'm talking
yes,
about?
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So, Giannis obviously can't shoot the ball. He can't shoot a three. He can't shoot the free throw. However, he can drive. He can play defense very well. He's an MVP. Brought a championship to a team. He knows what he's doing, right? Russell Wilson, he can throw the deep ball very well. One of the
best
most
deep
prettiest
balls.
rainbow,
Yeah.
dropping in the bucket type throws, and he extends plays very well. So play style-wise, their career arc, kind of similar. That's what we're going with, not size-wise though. Don't start thinking like that. We're going purely just based off of talent and their career peaks.
Kind of like what you said about mine, though. I mean, both of them got the title, but it's been a struggle getting back.
That's true. That's the other thing too.
I mean,
That's
Giannis-
why
Giannis
I'm
won
glad
it
you
what,
mentioned
2
that.
years
Giannis won it 3 years ago, but
3
I mean,
years.
I
fired
think the
the
Bucks
coach.
should be the favorite every single year as long as they have him. I mean, Giannis is
Right.
Not
No,
with Dr.
I'm glad,
Every
I'm glad you said that. Now getting back, this reminds me, we're talking about Seattle Russ here. We're not talking about Denver Russ.
Yeah,
Like, we're
of course.
going, that's why we're using the
Seattle
Seattle
Russ
picture. We got to mention that.
Always
you know.
got a place in my heart.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah, that's two different versions of him.
Right.
That is
we're
not the
focusing
same player.
on the
so I get
Seattle.
that.
He's obviously
You've
at
got
the tail end
peak
of his
Russ,
career.
and then you've got falling off of a cliff
Right.
Russ.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was mine. We're going with that. I'm taking it.
I like it. I like it. I
I
respect
like that
it. Next is my comparison. So I compared Pat Mahomes and Magic Johnson because I wanted to look at their rookie seasons, their first 5 to 6 years. Now, Pat Mahomes, he didn't play his 2017 first official season, but he was claimed the starter in 2018.
Right.
He won MVP 2018. He was on the Pro Bowl team in 2018. That was his season, and that's what we're all remembering him for. ESPN's posting his stats the past 5 to 6 years. He's been in a championship every single one of those years. And Magic Johnson also won NBA Rookie and MVP of the Year, his first rookie season. So I wanted to compare them in that sense. And then also, Magic Johnson's first 5 to 6 years were his most notable years in his career, and that's what we're remembering him for. So if I'm going with, obviously the eras are two different eras. He's a 1980s star, and Pat Mahomes is a 21st century type of star. But I don't know. I just think that with their rookie seasons, because there are a lot of people I could compare Patrick Mahomes to in sense of legends.
Right. Yeah.
Tom Brady's doing they're being compared in the media
you
right
had
now.
Michael Jordan or LeBron right there for the while. I like that you went a different route.
Yeah, I like the
did,
route that you took it
because
for.
Their rookie seasons and their starts, I don't think were as
Mahomes flew
notable
on the
as
scene.
Mahomes.
Yeah, right.
Like, I just think he needed to be compared to someone at that rank because you can obviously even like I was even thinking because he compared himself to Steph Curry, but I feel like that's just too easy. Like, I wanted to look for
yeah.
someone that really like should be remembered for because coming off a rookie and then winning MVP, like that is something that you should be remembered for your entire career.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my comparison.
I like it. I
I do
respect
like
that.
it, yeah.
You went a different direction too. You went with the reverse layup instead of just slamming the alley-oop down. I love
Thank
it.
you,
I love
thank
it.
you.
Yep.
Great way of putting it.
Yeah.
So next we have starting three. So we're going to do our starting three basketball lineup, but from players from sports all over the league. So any player that we wanted. And I'm going to start with you, Ryan.
All right. So running my shooting guard, small forward, I got DK. Y'all saw him in last year's NBA All-Star Celebrity
He can
Game.
hoop. He can hoop.
He can hoop.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just a physical specimen. 6'4", can basically do everything. In my opinion, he's Vince Carter. Like that's
Vince
a
Carter.
comparison.
Okay.
Because
I like
DK
that.
Metcalf's just gonna run to the rack and he's just gonna slam it. That's
Man,
exactly
dribble,
what
like I'm looking at him like maybe Jaylen Brown. He can't go left. Maybe he
I
can't
don't
dribble.
think he can go left. He's
So,
blown by the
we're
guy
forcing
right.
him right. My
He's got
first
the
reaction,
speed. He's got the hops. He's got the intensity. He's running my 2-3.
Okay.
I got Ellie De La Cruz in my 3-4. 6'7", can't really pass up on the height.
Yeah.
Again, another fast guy. He's in there. He's going to block shots. He's going to dunk over people. I'm assuming he can shoot the ball as good as he can hit in the MLB, but
That's a big assumption. I feel like.
I think, I mean,
It is.
I don't know.
hitting on
That's
definitely
a
is.
big
I feel
At
like-
bare
comparison.
minimum, that speed is special.
Baseball and basketball are hard to
in my
compare.
opinion, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in any sport ever.
I think
Great
so.
take.
Yeah, I
It's a
agree.
great take.
So, if they can do that, I feel like they can do anything.
I don't think it guarantees he could shoot though. I don't know.
No.
We
I feel
might
I
like-
don't know about
we
the
might leave him
hand-eye
open.
coordination. Like, I feel like it's not, like, it's going to throw him off. Like, I don't think...
The hand-eye coordination?
Yeah,
You gotta
like-
have a lot of hand-eye coordination to play baseball.
No, exactly. But I don't think it's going to be the same because, like, it's too complete. Like, the basketball is so much bigger.
If anything, he'll be like Giannis and he'll just sit in the paint and block shots. And then I got my 5'10" king, Connor Bedard. Definitely not biased at all, but I needed a 1. So
All right.
he's going to be running the
They
point.
dish it out.
5'1", he can dish it out. He can. I think of him as a little Rajon Rondo.
All right. Yeah, how tall did you say he is?
5'10".
All right, we're going after him in the paint. That's my.
See,
if I'm
the
coach,
thing
I'm
is, he's
playing
not
him.
There might
going to
be
be
a
in the
baby
paint.
down
He's
there.
going to be
Well, not when you see my team.
outside the three-point
My
line.
team might have him in the paint. You'll see.
I'm not going to have him in the paint.
You'll see.
Okay.
We shall see.
Next, we have Aidan's pick for the starting three.
Alrighty, to start it off, running my point guard slash, a little bit of shooting guard. You want a guy that could distribute, but also, if it comes to it, he's going to have to make a play. Won't Pat Mahomes. He's going to get it to everyone that we needed to, but if it comes down to it, make a play, get a bucket. He could do that too. I'm thinking Tyrese Halliburton there. Also, they had to put in his contract
I
that he
knew you were
can't
going there, right,
hoop
yeah.
anymore.
Yep.
So clearly he's married to the game. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's on the grind. Went with Aaron Judge next. Thinking a Zion comparison here. I mean, 6'7", freakishly big for an MLB player. Fast, strong.
And he's built.
He's going to do a lot of work down
He's
there.
just gonna
Yeah, he's just,
back
I mean,
anybody down.
if he gets Bedard on him, man, dear Lord.
Yeah, you kind of just destroyed your team.
Is not going on
Another
Aaron Judge,
pretty
I will
tall
tell you
dude.
that.
I mean, Mahomes is my shortest player. We got Ronaldo last because I needed someone. I mean, these two guys are both filling roles. I just needed someone that's going to go out there and score.
think
And there
we're
has
just
never been
outrunning your
anyone better
team.
at scoring than Ronaldo. And obviously, I don't know if it'll translate. He likes using his feet. You got to shoot your basketball with the hands. But I mean, if you lock him in a gym with like Chris Brickley and give him like 24, like Chris
Brickley,
not
lethal
lethal
shooter.
not lethal shooter. Everyone gets worse.
Yeah,
after.
everyone works with the
Don't do
lethal
that.
shooter. But yeah, lock him in a gym. I feel like it can't be that hard. It's way easier to use your hands.
He also has the stamina. I feel like out of
Oh,
all
yeah,
your
that's
players, like
big,
he'll
that's big.
run. Even
That
if
is
he doesn't
big.
make a basket, he's gonna run up and down that court
Yeah.
like the
That
whole
is true. Are
entire
we playing
game.
full court here? Is that what we're doing?
That's
Three
important.
versus.
I mean,
That is
I would feel like
important.
Because
3v3
full court, that
is-
helps you with
Exactly.
Yeah, it
That's
definitely
big,
does.
You know.
Yeah, they're gonna get out and run, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are strong picks.
Our team's
Those are
constructed.
those are like famous picks too. So they got Rocco's pick.
All right, so let me just preface this. All of these guys are in their prime at the time of this. All right, we're not taking
I missed
30.
one.
We're not taking 37-year-old Jimmy Graham. However, he was still catching touchdowns this season from Derek Carr. Maybe we'll take him at age 37. I don't know. However, we're going with them in the prime. if you've ever watched a Saints game in like the 2013 range, you definitely heard of like an announcer saying, "Oh, did you guys know Jimmy Graham played basketball at Miami?" He did. He played 4 years there. Didn't average anything more than like 5 points in any season, but he could still get rebounds. He's going to grab some boards. Maybe he's playing the 3. I'm not really sure where we're going to put him. He might be a stretch 4. But that might be an issue. He's only hit like 2 threes in his college career, so like you guys could probably just leave him open, and it's not going to go well for us. However, that's why we got Odell Beckham. I don't know if you've seen his high school highlights.
Hooper.
That man can hoop.
Hooper.
He's got a quick first step. He's got a nice jab step too. I was watching like 20 seconds of his TikTok highlights. I could tell the man can hoop. We want him at point guard. He's playing the 1, right? Then we got Antonio Gates. If you ever watch a Chargers game, Phillip Rivers to him, easiest connection. And then obviously you probably heard that he hooped as well. He played in the MAC, which was not as impressive as Miami, but hey, we'll take that. He averaged 16.5 points per game in college. Obviously, he's doing something right.
Impressive. He's
like 6'5", he's probably playing the Ford role as well. We had a nice pick and roll, though, I feel like, with Odell and Antonio Gates. Like, that's a really good combo. That might be tough to stop. You go over the screen, Odell can take you to the rack, maybe throw up an oop to Antonio Gates. Then you're in trouble. You might have to incorporate Jimmy Graham in the pick and roll, though, because we can't have him sit in corner. So it's kind of tough. But that's the philosophy there. If you've seen Antonio Gates, the man's huge. He's grabbing rebounds as well with Jimmy Graham. I'm taking those 2 guys to grab boards over really anybody that was mentioned. I think they're vertical higher than anybody that was mentioned today.
I think DK's got him beat.
That's maybe DK, DK. But I mean, I don't know if DK's committed on defense. We don't know about that yet. We have to see. He's an offensive player. He's a receiver,
I understand.
Right?
I'll tell you what.
But you've got 3 offensive players right here talking about defense.
That's okay. They got love for the game. That's all that matters. I'm going to coach them up. I'm going to let them know this is big time.
I'm telling
my
my team, don't jump with rollers and cutters because these dudes are going to be putting guys on
DK's
posters.
just going to, we're going to have like a game of 21 going, and like you're going to have somebody on the end of the court, and DK's going to be in a scuffle with like Jimmy Graham.
Right? Exactly. However, that is one problem. If we go full court here, you guys got the speed advantage over the 2 forwards I have.
We got a lot of speed on our team.
It's tough to know how these skills translate too from football to basketball. You never really know because like it's such like a precise type of game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like intricacies that go into it. Same with football, but like the techniques are obviously different.
They all play football though, and they got Odell. Imagine these 2 grabbing outlet passes.
Yeah, right. Like,
I think your team's taking.
Yeah,
I think your team is taking it home.
Let's go.
And this was thought out. So I was, and they all have basketball experience, and not even just like regular. Like he played in Miami. Like they've been at that level.
He is 16.5 points per game in the MAC. Granted, Kent State.
D1.
That's
better than probably like some of the other players never even like thought
about.
It.
Might not have even
Ronaldo. I don't know if Ronaldo's touched one. So
you might not know that orange ball feels like. So yeah.
So I think you've got it good. But yeah, those are really good picks. So next we're gonna do an NHL All-Star blind rank. So I'm going to show you guys 3 different plays, and then you have to blind rank them and just see which moments you think are best.
All right. Let's take a look here.
Oh, that's Bobrovsky.
Ooh.
It's a really good save.
Sliding. That's tough. All right.
That's going to get slept on, too.
That's with the blocker, too. Yeah. So
I will say I'm not a big hockey guy, so this quite literally is a blind rank to me. There's no chance I would have ever seen this.
I'm putting respect on that. They definitely have some crazy in the vault. There's definitely one in the vault.
There's definitely one crazy one.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm saying.
Let's go middle.
Yeah, I'm saying 2. I'm saying this is perfectly 2.
We'll go 2.
Okay, so we'll go 2 for. And also, like, I'm not a big hockey person either. But I feel like a goalie deserves when a goalie makes a great save, like that is like more than I don't know, because the scores could be like 7-0, like something like that. But like this, I don't know. I feel like a goalie making a great save like that. It's a really big deal. So
how come we don't have names on the back of the jerseys?
They're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom.
Let me just hate on the design.
Oh yeah, the jerseys were horribly designed.
I want to move it down to number 3 because of that.
The colors aren't great either. We could be doing a lot better.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
I don't know
feel
what
like
we're cooking there.
I don't know.
We're moving it down to 3 based on jerseys.
No, we'll keep it.
But
I have to hate. That's despicable.
Well, yeah.
That is despicable.
We got D1 haters over here. We got to hate the jerseys.
Yeah, I have to. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of that.
All right. Let's see our next rank.
All right. Oh man,
bar
that's
down,
dirty.
Nathan McKinnon.
Did it go in?
Yeah, that one, that's
bar
dirty.
down.
All right.
I mean,
Nathan McKinnon's been
I don't
on
know.
a
Are we thinking, is that a
tear this
1
year.
now?
I feel like that's a 1.
I feel like
feel
the last play always
you're
is like
probably
the
right,
crazy
but
one,
if
right?
we want to have integrity, you
See,
know,
okay,
Then how
so
about this be
this
three?
is
better than
This
the
was
save.
This
this
is
was
way
also
better
on the
than
goalie that just made that blocker
Right,
save.
that's true, right?
So-
like that's one-upping him.
I feel
Bobrovsky,
like
right?
Do we want?
I don't know. Oh wait, no, it's
No, we
blind.
can't do
We
that.
can't
We're
move
not
down.
allowed to
Don't move it.
I
Don't
don't. I
Do
feel
we
bad
think there's
putting
one
this at
crazier
3,
than
though.
this?
I feel like that's how it always works, right?
know.
Because then the
Alright.
last one gets you.
All right, we'll put it
Yeah.
at 3.
Put it at 3. Ooh, that's like disrespect.
I know.
It is.
It's
Because now
tough.
I'm thinking that the goalie in the last one was kind of just like, oh, he's in the right spot at the right time.
Nah,
Yeah,
he slid
well,
over there.
yeah, he slid over.
Bobrovsky
It's
slid
All-Star
over
weekend
there.
for a reason. Last one should be a banger.
All right, so what's
Yeah.
the official? What are we going with?
So we're going
Are we going 3?
Do we need a vote?
3.
Are we going 3?
I'm cool with putting this at 3.
All right, we'll go 3.
I feel like you're
I
backtracking
guess.
now.
I
This
would put
first
it at
round.
1.
I'm not confident in it. You know, I don't like not being
I
confident.
would
We're
put it
going
at
3.
1, but I'm gonna.
I trust the intuition. I
feel
trust the
bad now.
intuition.
We could.
No, we can put it at
Say 3.
Sure, let's say 3. We'll
Lock
say
it
3
in.
for this one.
We'll lock it in. We'll
Lock
lock
it
it
in.
in.
And our next one.
This better be great.
This better.
Keller, all
not-
right.
Okay.
Guys,
I
need
don't
the slow-mo.
know.
I need the-
I need to see. Is that the only view we're getting
Yeah,
here?
that's the
I
only
feel
view
like
we're
I've seen
getting.
this
I
in
mean, that
every
looks like a
game.
tight window. Man.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
it's a
saying.
tight
That
window.
looks
Like
like
a
a window.
tight window.
I
I
don't
feel like
know.
I've seen this play in every
see
game,
it
every
bounce off.
NHL
I feel like
hockey game.
we got copium here. I don't know if this is number
All right,
1.
yeah, I'm
I don't
coping,
know.
but-
It's not number
Yeah,
1.
I
There's
think
no
we're
way this
coping.
is
I think
number
we're
1.
coping. I think we
Arguably number
messed up.
3,
Yeah.
but
Fuck, I knew we should
You
have
know,
went. We
it
should have
is-
went 1.
Yeah,
But-
well,
It is what it is.
okay.
I mean, we can't change it now, but I just feel like this is a play that, like,
I feel like at this
It's
point we
just-
should have
it's a
just put
quick-
this save at
it's an
1.
high
impressive
Right,
play.
schoolers
right.
could have.
like it's a cool one time, you know,
This-
but it's a 2 on
basic
1.
hockey.
Right.
It is.
It's basic hockey.
But
Like,
sometimes that's the most satisfying.
I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but, like, this is, like,
One-timers are
average to me.
always just
Yeah, it's
like
beautiful.
you see it,
It is.
happen and you're like,
That's poetry.
oh.
But it's a 2 on 1 though in the All-Star game, you know. Like I know, like
Yeah,
it's
like
it
that
is the
needs to be
NHL,
cashed.
right?
With
the
their team up
NHL,
4-3, yeah.
it's not the same as the NBA's defense in the All-Star game,
Yeah,
but it's a
right.
little more intense. But like you could see that they're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it
think
doesn't
of the
really look
NHL.
like.
It's like the battle of offenses, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you can't really.
I mean, look at the score. Now it's what 5-3 in the
5-3
second
in the
period. So
second
the
period.
defense isn't like up
Not
to
really.
par.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
really seeing
And
that
this
in
is
the
the
NHL
same
game.
goalie that we ranked 2, and then this is like.
Yeah, we lost. I think
Yeah,
we're
I
taking
think
it.
we
Yeah,
lost
I
with
think
that
we lost.
ranking.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
Pretty good
unfortunate.
idea.
It's
Thank
not
God.
Line rank for a reason. We were set up.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. It's
It was
tough,
rigged
tough
from
to
the
execute.
start.
It's tough to execute, for sure.
Yeah, well, that was a good try. Anyways, now we have 360 sports moments of the day. I just want to say a little happy National Women's Girls and Sports Day.
Absolutely.
I'm very happy to be
Let's
hosting
go.
this show on this day because so before I came here, like I didn't know what I wanted to do, like sports broadcasting wise, like my career. And now I'm so glad I chose this because this day is like actually such a big deal. And I'm glad it is. Like I didn't know that people were going to be making like, I saw like I reposted like the Jets posted for it,
Yeah.
my team. And like, I don't know, it's so cool to see like how far women in sports have actually come
Yeah.
and how involved that we actually are. Like, I don't know. I think it's so nice to know that women are more than just a pretty face in front of the camera now for sports.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And these are remarkable players, especially with Caitlin Clark coming up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's
I mean, we
someone
already
that
talked about her,
women
right?
in
Yeah,
sports, like
exactly.
she's just like everyone in sports, but like
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
But you don't really realize how many women are involved until you take a
Yeah,
step
Alex
back on
Morgan.
days like
Oh,
this.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Okay, who are your favorite female athletes of all time?
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to use someone on the board. I'm going with Alex Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, led the U.S. Women's National Team
Yeah.
to back. Like, it's tough. She was the captain. I don't think you could really. It's tough. There's a lot of great ones out there, but I'm going with Alex Morgan. We're riding with Alex
I
Morgan.
feel like
Feeling good with that
I feel
one,
like
too.
Simone Biles definitely needs her flowers.
Yeah,
She's
she's getting
Definitely.
flowers.
one of the greatest. Yeah, like she's up
If
there.
not-
Yeah, there's
One
flowers.
of, if
If
not the
not the
greatest,
greatest.
United
Yeah.
States women's
Arguably the
gymnast or
greatest.
gymnast,
Yeah.
like ever.
Shout out Gabby Douglas too. She like took over the 2012
Oh, yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was
she's
historic as well.
she's a New
Pass the
Jersey
torch.
Yeah,
native.
too.
pass the torch
Torch.
over to Simone Biles. So,
Yeah, I really agree with those. I'm gonna say Hope Solo. I
like that answer.
I'm a goalie, like, and I played soccer my
Yeah.
whole life, and I literally, like, I think up until maybe 14, when like reality clicked, I was like, I'm gonna be like Hope Solo. Like, looked up to her and everything about sports, because like,
Yeah.
I feel like growing up, like, I didn't hear much besides like women's soccer. I didn't hear about women in sports like
Right.
that much, because the U.S. women's team has always been, I feel like, very respected, but like
Yeah.
not many other sports.
True.
So I only could ever like look up to Hope Solo, but really she deserved it. Like, I'm so upset that she didn't ended up being like the best type of person. Like her
Yeah.
character isn't really too great.
You gotta distract like the art.
I know, like
art
I
from
feel
the
like you
artist,
do that
you
for
know?
like half
Oh, yeah.
athletes
Respect
anyway,
on the
but like
field.
her
Gotta
character
take the art
wasn't
away
too
from the
great.
artist.
But as a player, she's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I am definitely. I mean, it's early, but Caitlin Clark is easily my favorite women's athlete that I've watched to date. But to put some more respect on another women's hooper from back in the day, first girls basketball game that I ever watched, first WNBA game I ever watched was Maya Moore.
Ooh,
And Maya
pick.
Moore was just giving out
She's a
straight
hooper.
buckets,
Yeah.
like ISO ball. Brought ISO ball to WNBA. It was a huge part of that. Unstoppable isolation scorer. I love Maya Moore. And she does really great things now. So
Yeah.
I love Maya Moore.
Valid point. I also want to give Erin Andrews her flowers. You know, we got Malika Andrews
Yeah.
up here, but
Yes.
Erin
Oh, yeah.
Andrews,
Erin
best
Andrews.
Fox pregame features that she does
Changed the
before
game.
those games. Like,
100%.
it always locks me in whenever I'm watching the Fox pregame show. And then 12:45 Eastern hits, and then they start running that feature. And I'm like, oh, here we go. We're getting close to
It's like,
kickoff.
here we go.
It's a great feeling. That whole team at Fox is great, but Erin Andrews does a great job at all of this.
Yeah, they
areas.
really do.
Aaron
And-
Andrews, Tracy Wolfson. like,
Yes.
And she's such a household name too that it's good that it's like she's not being put behind like all the other like male commentators and
Right.
sports broadcasters that do the like the kickoffs.
Yeah.
Because I
Right.
feel like it's so easy to just say that like they're talking about everything that's right and then she's just like adding in, but no, like she genuinely
Yes.
no, she's
Yeah.
a good representation for all sports broadcasters.
And it's not
women
even
out there.
like just the NFL. Like MLB just started doing their Friday night baseball on Apple TV
Right.
with an
Yep.
all-woman
Yep.
or all-female like broadcasting team, reporting team, and it just shows like how far like all these sports have come from just using
Definitely, yeah.
men for everything. Like it's just really amazing to
Yeah.
see how
Super
even like
impressive.
all these huge sports are getting
Yeah.
into just.
That's
But,
why
yeah.
I'm glad that Caitlin Clark is like being so like pushed into the media because even men are respecting her now.
Yeah.
Because like women's basketball, I feel like wasn't always as respected as it should be, and now finally like a player because she's not like the only great one in women's basketball.
No, she's
There's
not.
so
But if that's what
many-
it takes for the others to get recognized, then it's so worth it.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
there's so many good female basketball players, but nobody really cared as much until Caitlin.
Yeah, I think I saw. I don't remember
Well, you've
exactly,
got,
but it was
like-
like top three. I think you're gonna go to Angel Reese. Is that what you're gonna
Yeah,
say?
you got, like,
they
Angel
played
Reese,
last
all
year in the
that.
championship, and I think it was like top three most viewed like
Oh, yeah.
ESPN event like ever, or
It's
something
insane.
crazy statistic.
Then you've
like
got
that.
like Ajay Wilson, who's
Yeah.
on the Las Vegas Aces, I believe.
Yeah, I think you got it right.
And then obviously Candace Parker's always been like a huge name. She's part of the Chicago Sky.
And
Like
great on TNT as well.
exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
she
Great
is.
analyst.
I hope that women's softball could like get big one day. I feel
too.
like
I
that's
feel like women's
something.
softball-
That's really
is
surprised me
all-
that it's not like an Olympic sport or something. I mean,
I-
professional sport,
Yes,
bare
I
minimum,
should
but
say, yeah.
Olympic
Yeah.
sport, I definitely think it should be
I mean,
there.
like-
I think it should be.
College
that.
like women's softball, one of the most entertaining things
Electric.
I've ever
Yes.
watched.
Electric
All
tournament.
those semifinals.
Even,
and
like-
final
Oklahoma
games.
softball team.
Oh,
Yes,
that was
Oklahoma
so
softball.
fun last
You've
year.
got like even last year, you're watching and it's like, oh my gosh, like Tennessee has a chance to beat Oklahoma, and then I forget her name, but she would come up and with like two runners on and just blast a home run, and the stadium is just electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my best friend grew up playing softball, and like my dad, oh my god, he wanted me to be in softball so bad. I couldn't do it. I hated the dugout. I literally couldn't do it. But when my best friend was like, she's going all over the country and stuff, and then I was asking like, oh, like where can I watch? She's like, oh, it's like only streamed on like this or like
Yeah.
one thing. Like it's not. I don't know. I feel like women's basketball is on the come up right now. Like that is what's getting its recognition, which I'm glad. I just hope that softball is like the next one
Yeah.
because I feel like, especially collegiate softball is great.
So fun.
And I know
Yeah.
I'm going to catch a lot of Penn State games this year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
I don't know if
yeah.
you guys remember the Monet Davis run too
Oh,
from the Little League World
special.
Series. That was a special type of run.
That
That had
was.
everyone
Oh,
glued
yeah.
to the TV.
And then like
Philadelphia area.
even now you've got like, I mean like we haven't seen like women's hockey like at all, and now there's a professional women's hockey league.
yeah.
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 Getting recognition
crazy.
from Austin Matthews, who's the points leader or the goals leader right now in the NHL. Like that's huge. And
Yeah.
I think it was Minnesota who had like the first game. They had like 19,000 people watching,
That's awesome.
which is
Yeah.
actually
That
like
is crazy.
absolutely amazing.
We're making history, guys. Well, Netflix is following the Boston Red Sox throughout the 2024 season to create a Hard Knocks style docu-series about the team. What do you guys think about this series?
Should we go to the Yankees fan first, or what do you think?
What do you mean? I'm not a Yankees fan.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're a White Sox.
I'm a
fan.
White Sox
You did.
fan.
I'm sorry. You're the Yankees.
He's hating on the
Yankees
Yankees.
haters. What I meant to
Yes.
say. Should we go to the
Yeah,
Yankees?
I'm
hating
in for
first?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Let's go to you.
I mean, I love Hard Knocks. I love looking, like, especially with the Miami Dolphins, the way that the NFL did it this year with HBO. Like, learning about Mike McDaniels and all the players, like, that make Mike McDaniels, like, this super lovable guy. I'm excited to see how it works with baseball because 162 games
stretched out. It's a lot.
Especially like even if the Red Sox make the playoffs, I don't think they are, but I mean they don't have anybody on their team. They're going to follow Rafael Devers, Masataka Yoshida as he's shown here.
Yeah, I don't really think that.
And I mean, it's going to be hard to document all 162 games. I think they'll document the traveling and how quickly they go from city to city to play these teams over stretches where they could play 15 games in a row without a break.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be interesting watching to see how Netflix does this.
I do want to say, like, Hard Knocks, like, they do a decent job, but I like it more training camp style. Like, I like following it during the season, but they're not as in-depth with the type of stuff that they show. Right. So I would kind of want them to go. I don't know if you guys watched All or Nothing. They did that before on Amazon. That was really good for soccer as well. They did it for football, and it was, like, more in-depth. Like, they showed everything. Like, they didn't, like, keep anything out. They showed literally everything. Right. So I don't know how they're going to approach that with baseball, if they're going to, show everything that they shoot, everything that they find. Hopefully they do. It'd be great for the fan, for the viewer. I don't know if they're going to do that. Red Sox-wise, though, I mean, it's not like it's the Boston Red Sox from, like, the dynasty days, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you got Ortiz and Pedroia.
Like, there's not as much aura there, let's be honest.
It's really not.
I'll still probably check it out. Am I going to watch it all the way through? I'm not sure. That's all.
They do an episode a game. Imagine that.
It is.
No.
An episode a game would be brutal.
No.
No one would watch. Not even Red Sox fans. I don't even
nobody
would
would
watch
watch that.
Yeah.
It is kind of a weird time to pick up the Red Sox and where they're at right now.
Yeah.
But also, that's kind of when they picked up the Lions for the football one, when it was like they're kind of gaining a new identity.
And the Cardinals,
you don't know how they're going to look. And everyone fell in love with that Lions team, still are in love with that Lions team to this day. I'm not. I hate the Lions, Vikings fan. But I'm excited to see like how they do the young guys. And everyone's favorite part about Hard Knocks NFL is the cuts and stuff, and baseball. Like the cut down of rosters is way more intense. So honestly, I think
that's true.
It has a good chance.
They could
of
also
succeeding.
go through like the minor leagues and how
They
could follow like Jeter Downs, who I believe is still with the Red Sox.
I think there's a lot that goes.
There's a lot they could do, and it's a good team to use to kind of get more behind the scenes because they're not as good right now, so they can kind of like pull them apart. Not pull them apart in a bad way, like break down like their practices, their pre-game rituals and stuff like that. That like other teams wouldn't have like time for. So that was a really good take. Thank you for tuning in to 360 Sports Frenzy episode. I'm your host Sophia, here with Ryan, Aidan, and Rocco. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Tomorrow we have a good lineup for tomorrow. We're talking about basketball. So make sure you tune in for that. And yeah.